Okay, it's May 1st, Thursday. Doing an update here for Weather Outlook. We have some thunderstorms once again. Just the other day, the storms that were in western PA, they have tornadoes. They had 80, 90 mile an hour wind gusts, straight line wind gusts. And sometimes that's worse than a tornado because 80, 90 is basically an F1 tornado. And it's a wider area that it covers. It's just not in a thin path of a tornado, but there's more damage. There was a lot of people without power. There was trees down. I think I read two people were killed, one electrically, and that's another point. If you ever see wires down, don't go near them because one guy got electrocuted that way. Just call and get the electric company to come down and handle it. Don't try to move it or whatever, things like that. Okay, so anyway, that's why we have cell phones. Anyway, we have some more thunderstorms coming through, and again, they this time they look like they're going to hold together into northeastern PA, but again, I think southeastern PA kind of doesn't get it as bad. But again, the other day I posted that video. They hung on pretty well, and then, like I said, they were going to die out in eastern PA. They cleared Williamsport, and they just kind of died before they got into northeastern, really eastern PA. But again, that's what I thought was going to happen. But the reason I posted the quick picture the other day was because they were just holding together a lot longer than my forecast. I think they probably went maybe another 70 miles further than I thought they would go. I mean, that's not missing by much, but I just thought I would post it and say, hey, they're still there. So you never know. Thunderstorms, and they kind of die off at night for the most part, unless it's just really got a lot of convection. But usually they'll die out as the nighttime falls, and that's what's going to happen today. They're going to come through this afternoon, and then they will die out as they go east. Now this afternoon, this is around 3 o'clock. What you got here? You got some really warm temperatures because you got a southerly flow in front of the front, so the temperatures have gotten into the 80s. Elsewhere, it's basically 70s. Higher elevations are still probably in the upper 60s around this time. But as you get into the afternoon, you can see these little spots here. That's kind of where you get the storms, and basically that's what cools it off. So this takes you to around 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, your thunderstorms are right here. And again, this is the prime time, late afternoon, just like last time, the other day. And again, Western PA is where they get the worst of it. And again, Eastern PA, it's going to be tough to hang on that long. But we'll just have to see how far it goes, and I'll show you. It's by the hour. Okay, here is 8 o'clock right here. Now you can see there's basically two clumps right here, going from Bradford down towards State College, and over here's another line going from Erie down towards Pittsburgh. And we move this by the hour. Let's go one more hour ahead. This takes you to around 9 o'clock. Here's 10 o'clock. Here's 11 o'clock, and you can see once again they make it to Williamsport, and as they start heading into eastern PA, they kind of lose their oomph. Now you can see there's still a couple of spots here where there could be a downpour, or even a gusty winds, and even a heavy, some lightning and thunder possible. But as you can see, they work their way off and they start heading out up away, and they kind of get farther and further apart here. But still, there's a chance of it in eastern PA. And in western PA, this last batch of showers is going through here. Here, this is around 1 o'clock in the morning. It does show possibility of one in Jersey. And again, this is just simulated. And then this takes you to around, here's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we left over with a couple of showers and sprinkles out there. And then we have, again, Friday afternoon. This is around 5 o'clock. Another line, but not as powerful, but there's still another line. And this takes you to around 8 o'clock. You can see it's just kind of sagging here. There's a stray thunderstorm it shows you here in the southern Poconos. But then as it crosses a state again, this is around midnight. You can see there are some possibilities in Jersey, but everything's widely scattered, so you don't have much to worry about. And then you got this coming through 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. You got another line here, another batch of rain coming across here. And again, it heads to the north and out of the way. But then you got this, and finally, well, I'm not happy about it, but Eastern PA Saturday afternoon. Again, this is around 5. You notice again, I'm teaching you something. This was prime time today, right here, because it was late afternoon. This is late afternoon, 5 o'clock. There's your line going across, and this has a chance to be some really strong storms and gusty winds. And this is again Saturday afternoon around 5. I don't know if I could take this out any further, but you can see here's a little curl right here. But this holds together pretty good. There's going to be a lot of rain off and on in the area, and I'll show you what I mean by that now. This is an estimated rainfall between now and next Wednesday, this the 7th. Actually, this is about midnight on the 6th and 7th. And you can see some areas in central PA, 5 inches plus. You can see some areas in here, like here's Reading, 3 inches, Allentown, 3 inches, Poconos, getting up in that 3 inch range. Western PA, 1, 2 inches out here. Um, Delaware, you kind of get the rip-off zone down here, but northern up towards Wilmington, again, 2, 3 inches of rain. Philadelphia here, 2 inches or so of rain. And again, there's a lot of rain going to be happening between now and then. And it's going to come in the form of thunderstorms and downpours. But it's still a lot of rain. And I guess it's a good thing. We've had a lot of dry weather, and I guess the farmers would appreciate the rain as long as it's not flooding type rains. But I think this will be more of the downpours. Hope it doesn't all run off. I hope they do fields get kind of damp from this. But keep that in mind. That takes you into next week. Now, I know I talked about freezing temperatures over the weekend. I'll just give you the lows in the morning. This is Friday morning. These are your low temperatures. You can see 60s down here to the south. You got 50s to the north, so not very bad. Saturday morning, basically again, 50s and 60s across the state. And this is how Mother Nature screws with you. Sunday morning, temperatures basically 50s and 60s and not the 30s, and they're further to the north. The rain has come in the clouds, and that cold air just won't come through when you have that kind of weather going on. You need to get clear skies, and that's just not happening. Rain is what's going to happen. Now, if you happen to live in the I-95 corridor, which is Baltimore, Philly, going up towards New York City here, you kind of gonna get a taste of summer tomorrow, where temperatures get into the 80s, elsewhere 70s to the north of it, and then as you get into Saturday, before that next batch of rain comes in, the I-95 corridor gets back into the 80s again. But this will only fire those thunderstorms that I'm talking about further to the east, because you'll have more heat and your front will be coming through at that time. So Mother Nature plays games. We go from talking about cold temperatures in the 20s and 30s to temperatures in the 80s and stuff. So, hey, I'm only the messenger. Things do change, and I expect some nasty storms. And again, hope you don't get caught in anything serious out there. But I'm just kind of pointing out what's coming up, and I think a couple of batches. I think the main batch will be this afternoon in Western PA and Central PA, and I think Eastern PA is in for it in the next batch. All right, everybody take care, be safe.